Hey everybody, this is Mike Aransky here with Sean Allen.
What's going on?
Hey, we are hardcore Evil Dead fans. Welcome to the Evil Dead Rewind Theater. We are going to take this thing apart and try to figure out exactly what are the hidden bonuses within this trailer.
Definitely.
So this is actually produced by Bruce Campbell. He says he's not. The word on the street is there's no appearance. My money says there's an appearance. And it's actually directed by Fede Alvarez, who actually directed a cool little short that actually popped up on YouTube and got some really big Hollywood guys all over the place going after this guy. Within a week of that video showing up, he actually got grabbed by Raimi, and there was big talks of him at that point to grab onto this, which is our Evil Dead film. Interesting to see a YouTube guy come full circle and to be able to do a full feature like this. Cool looking stuff, really interesting. But let's get into the trailer. So here's a little look at what's probably what's supposed to be Tennessee.
Yep.
But I think this is basically New Zealand. That's okay. We won't shoot. So we got to first look at the cabin. Possibly could be whose cabin could be. I don't really know. It could be the professors from the second movie. Could be just a regular cabin. She mentioned something really quickly in the next couple shots where she mentions about the mother. That's the thing I'm kind of curious to know as to who's the mother of this daughter. And so we'll find out in a second. Also, we notice we've got a dog this time around.
First time in the Evil Dead series that you've got dogs in the series. So wonder if we'll be getting some Deadite dogs, maybe some Deadite wildlife in the movie as well.
Could get interesting. Could get interesting.
Mom would have hated
This thing has really been taken apart for a while. Hasn't been used, and it is really a mess.
And here we have Mia, played by Jane Levy, and that's kind of our main character, and that's kind of the first throwback that we get to the Evil Dead series, where she's wearing the Michigan hoodie, which is pretty much every Ash girlfriend in both Evil Dead 1 and 2 wears the Michigan hoodie. So that's the first kind of small throwback to the Evil Dead series.
Yeah, very Linda. You
Yes.
also notice it's also got our three females, actually, because obviously very small cast, Evil Dead. So now we know exactly, at least we have 3 females on the table, and then we're going to have 2 male counterparts coming up soon. That you'll see here. When we open up the fruit cellar.
The infamous cellar.
So this is interesting. We are seeing not giant hanging gourds anymore, folks. We are seeing hanging animals, and it's gross. We have definitely gone into a very rated R, present-day Evil Dead, which is the observation that it's something for shock, but it's an interesting move, I will say that. And then we also have this. And we like to call this Necronomicon, wrapped in barbed wire, which means, hey folks, don't open that thing. That's bad news. And also, right behind it is sitting a shotgun. Not the single barrel from the original, but
the boomstick.
Yeah, it's a double barrel. Now, I don't know if that's the exact double barrel from the Evil Dead 2, but man, it's a sawed-off. It's kind of cool to see. It's an interesting connection and throwback to the Evil Dead films.
Can you purchase it at S-Mart?
Probably can. I believe it goes for $109.95. That's what Ash was saying.
Shop at Smart.
Yeah.
So there.
A little passage thrown in here. This is something interesting. I've never seen this in the Evil Dead films before. Don't say it, don't write it, don't hear it. It's catchy. I just don't really know why that's written into the Necronomicon, but hey, you know, I guess there are times when you just need to write things like, don't do that. Clock, very much a big throwback to the Evil Dead, especially Evil Dead 1.
Yep.
The clock is thrown all over the place, so thanks for the little nod there to the fans. That's a nice touch. And the passage. And the Ramocam. Yeah, bring in the Ramocam. The Ramocam's a cool little device, something that they started in Evil Dead 1 is the point of view of the demon and the monster, or the Deadite. That could be something that's really interesting if how they're handled in this one. I'm sure it's not the way they did it in the original film, but man, it's still nice to see this back with the screaming hollers on the way.
Definitely.
And this is the good one. Here is an interesting observation, folks. This might be, this film that we're seeing here might actually be a semi-sequel to the Evil Dead films because we're seeing the old classic, the Oldsmobile Delta 88 sitting here, and it has definitely been sitting there for a while. I can guarantee that thing was not driven in here in the beginning of this film. I think that we are seeing something that could be basically very reminiscent to the connector of Evil Dead, the end of Evil Dead 1, basically the Ramocam smashes through the door, smashes, runs towards Ash, and that's the end. But in the background, you can definitely tell that the car's there. So that's my thought, folks. I think we are looking at kind of a sequel I don't know how to do that because basically we've already rebooted this film twice. We got
Yep.
Evil Dead 2, very much kind of the semi-reboot to each other already. So we're a third-time reboot in, but let's just say this is a connector to the original Evil Dead, but a sequel. I'm not too sure how to say it, but let's throw it out there and see what you guys think.
Strata.
Oh yeah, hey, check this one out. So this is probably my theory, last shot in the film.
Yep.
Because in this trailer we are looking at basically the Oldsmobile, which is obviously not moving around, and the Jeep, which is sitting in front, which I believe all of them came in from. So the question on the table is, what is that car in the background?
It looks like a different station wagon.
Yeah, that thing looks like it got trashed. It's got a nice accident, and this demon beast is coming out of it. Very Deadeye could be. I'm not too sure.
Maybe
exactly.
a twist ending, maybe something after the credits.
There's a little pop out at the end, but I think that's we are trying to be deceived and believe this is happening in the film. I think this is the end, folks.
Yep.
Montose.
Rambo cam again.
Yep. Nice view of the Necronomicon. Very brief.
Now you think this is going to be the last shot in the film?
Well,
is of the Necronomicon closing?
I think it's closing. I don't know if it's the last shot. I would say the other thing is the twist thing, but I believe that this is something interesting because it's closing here at the end. So could it be backwards footage? Who knows? But the interesting thing is it's closing, and it's like, hey, this is the end. We got through this passage in the book. Who knows? The interesting thing, though, is this is another look at the Necronomicon. Very much different from the other films.
Yep.
Used to have a big face on it, and it was awesome because it used to fly around and bite Ash in the hand. But unfortunately, this one looks like it's kind of a sewed-up, kind of leather-bound book. And very cool. It looks like it's also a much bigger book, too, which is kind of an interesting observation because the Evil Dead one, that book was tiny. But
We're
awesome.
all going to die tonight.
So we're looking at a little of a possessed Mia.
And that's very interesting because she's been touted as the main character in the film, and it looks like she's going to be the first person to get possessed in the film. So it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. And there are shots that you'll see in a couple seconds here of her being unpossessed towards what looks like the end of the film. So it looks like there's kind of a middle ground where she spends a lot of the film possessed.
Yeah.
Right.
I read a passage from that.
And here's her in the shower. Apparently, her and Tobias Funke have a little bit in common because fully clothed, never nude. I don't know how that's going to play into the Evil Dead lore at all, if it is, but just an interesting take.
Yeah. Yeah, and the interesting thing, too, is here's the question on the table. Is this pre-possession or is this post-possession?
Yes.
Because the thing here is this, is that the backstory behind this is that she's going to this cabin for some kind of a rehab situation after her mother's death.
Yep.
Which is still the big question on the table. Who is the mother? And is the mother a connectable story from the other films? Even though Ash has killed every one of those women at this point. So I'm not too sure exactly who this mother could be at this point. But needless to say, interesting because we don't know if she's just been possessed at this point or she's just kind of just taking a breather.
Release.
Okay, folks, this is interesting. Evil Dead time. If you've seen the Evil Dead films, you know that this is all bad news, and this is usually the case. Always happens for these poor people. The bridge is gone. They are trapped. They are screwed. And this is actually, you mentioned this is the...
This is the character of David, played by Shiloh Fernandez, and he's actually supposed to be Mia's brother in the film. But the wardrobe he's wearing and the way that they've got the character designed is very much a throwback to the Ash character. That blue jean jacket, kind of denim shirt is a really, really huge throwback.
Yeah, that's a nice little touch.
Evil.
This is just a quick one. Evil Dead 1, for just dimension-wise, that tool shed should not be on that side. The tool shed usually is on the left-hand side of Evil Dead 1. So it's interesting that we've seen a ton of different looks. That makes me question if this is the same.
Yep.
Or they just kind of took liberty and just kind of went their own direction.
Exactly.
Which is fine, too. Okay, so this one is the one that makes me go, we got something kind of a sequel connector going on again. Interesting. Look in her hand, folks. That hand looks like it's holding a necklace or some kind of amulet.
Yep.
Which, if you guys remember in the Evil Dead films, if you've seen them, the necklace is always given out from Ash to Linda. So the interesting thing is that looks like she's holding that in her hand. So is she the daughter, or did she find this, or did someone give this to her? We won't know yet, but it's an interesting kind of nod to the Evil Dead films, needless to say. And also we got some blood on its way. It's kind of dripping at her right now, but I believe she's going to get downpoured on in a second here with a whole lot of blood.
So it looks like there is going to be raining blood in this film.
Yes, it's Rain Blood. Rain Blood, or it's just bleeding trees. Needless to say, all kind of gross and all kind of weird. But it does make a transition for the Mia character's dress. It started off white. We are going in red, and the rest of the film, it looks like she's going down a red road. So
Definitely.
Here you go. Oh, yeah. So check this one out. This is the big question on the table. Who the heck are these people? We, obviously not revealed any of the, they're not with them. So the question is, are they just kind of possessed
and these don't look, they don't have the deadite eyes that they have, or that Mia has a little bit later in the trailer. And this is something completely really new to the Evil Dead series. So we don't know, are these ghosts, are these people living there? But yeah, this is definitely an interesting wrinkle to the series.
Yeah, I'm not too sure what they are then. Let's see. I guess that's the big question on the table. A whole lot of blood everywhere there. Obviously. Yeah. So here's my big kind of like, and this could be kind of semi-spoiler, but if you're watching this, you're kind of looking to see if there's a possibility of that. So here's the thing that's interesting. This is Mia, folks. She has got that white dress. It's poured red rain all over her. So obviously that dress is very red. My theory, that's Mia. Also, I think we both agree on this, that this is
the end of the movie.
Is the end of the movie. It is sunny. She is walking out. She's like, hey, this is good. I survived. I just slaughtered everyone else. And she's kind of dripping blood along the way.
Which makes me think that crashed vehicle scene is possibly an after the credits kind of scene.
Yeah.
So maybe that this is the last scene in the movie, and then maybe she gets picked up, something like that, and that maybe could be the after the credits scene.
I'm with you on that one. Totally with you on that one. So we'll see.
What the fuck did you do that?
Okay. So
here we learn where Joker got his scars.
Yeah. Super gross, people. I don't want to hold on to this one too long because I don't want to vomit in my mouth. So moving forward, we have stepped up our violence.
Definitely.
It is getting nasty, folks.
And this is not the campy, funny Evil Dead. This is the gruesome, what Evil Dead, the original, kind of wanted to be, but just the over-the-top violence there.
Yeah, we've taken 81 and we've gone to the time machine, gone forward, and got nasty along the way.
Exactly.
So cool stuff, though. Really intense, and we'll see. So we're gonna go back, forward, and backwards, or just a little. So we are gonna go to the old possessed hand bit. We had the possessed hand in the first one. We also had it in the second one. But the second one obviously became more of a beast and a monster, and they became a kind of a side counterpart to the Bruce Campbell shtick. Unfortunately, I think this one's going to be lost in this situation. She's going to cut this thing off.
Yep.
But I don't think it's going to be good for her. I believe that no matter what, she cuts that thing off.
Still possessed.
She is screwed. And this is the reason why. We're going backwards, folks. Check this out.
Her shoes in this scene look almost identical to the shoes when you see them on the floor, so it looks like this is going to be the girl, the blonde-haired chick, that's going to be the one that's going to be set on fire.
Yeah, she is. I think she's going to. She's got the bloody legs from all that blood coming out of her hands, and she is gone. She's been caught on fire. There is something in that image too. That's interesting. I don't really know what that is up there, but that's something. Really cool stuff though, and gruesome. That is getting bloody. Okay, folks, this is little Mia. I mean, that's our theory on this.
Yep.
We think this could be probably pretty possessed. Let's say semi-demon, semi-deadite version of Mia.
Yeah, and this, I mean, it looks like what the film version of the Deadites are going to look like, with the eyes and the really pale white skin. So it looks like this is what it's going to be when you get possessed.
Yeah, and it's pretty nasty. And we go from Rambo Cam again, coming at you. Oh man, it's good.
The iconic Evil Dead image, the Ash-esque character holding up a chainsaw. How is this going to play into the story? Because again, it's been really highly touted that Mia is the main character, but here we've got such a clear throwback to the Evil Dead series.
Yeah, I think this guy's toast.
Yes.
Looks cool though, and he's cutting up a body bag, which means someone isn't dead yet.
Yep.
So he's cutting somebody up. I don't know. We'll see.
Spoiler alert, people die in this movie.
I believe that's the case. I heard the word on the street. So more Rambo Cam, a little more explosion. Let's see. Somebody else.
Here's an interesting shot if you do it frame by frame. He's shooting the shotgun at the gasoline tank there, which is causing the explosion. It looks like Eric, the guy that reads the book, is standing right over before him.
Yeah.
But it looks like this is what's going to obviously set the cabin on fire.
Yeah, that dude's toast. He's done. And I got a feeling both are taking a
Yeah,
hit.
I would assume both of them are
he
out
might
of
be
the
back
picture
at the
in
other
this
dude.
one.
He
Yeah.
might be back. We'll see. Lots of fire. This cabin is not making it out, folks. This is the end of this cabin, no matter which way you look at it. All right, so we're going to the infamous Mia.
Tree assault.
Right, we assume this was Mia, right? So,
Yes,
yeah.
yes, this is Mia.
Yeah, so Mia is, she's caught up. She's caught up in the good old tree assault, I'd like to call this. It's pretty intense. In the original film, it went really intense.
Yes.
The question on the table will be,
How
will they
intense?
go
Yep.
that far?
Yep.
Man, this thing's already gone pretty nuts as it is, so there's a huge question on the table, will they go that way? But man, why not? I mean, at this point, they've gone that intense. So the question on the table will be, will they go that way? And obviously, they're really pushing this whole tree vibe in this time because they're pushing it right into the text now. Love the old text treatment. That's a really nice little throwback. Just nice nostalgic. Okay, so we got the arm cutter girl. She seems like being in jeopardy, and the reason why is, well, we've got, you assume this is Mia, right?
Yep, this is Mia.
Mia is just, she is beating herself up big time in this one.
Yeah.
It looks like she's going full tongue cut, and it's gross. So we'll just take this in, save for the moment here, because man, it's nasty, and then we'll move on. Okay.
Yikes. Which again is really interesting in that because she shows up, you know, later on in the film and she's unpossessed and she's fine. So apparently when you become unpossessed, you know, all of the things you just magically heal.
Right.
So
unless it's all a dream.
Yes.
And if that's the case, this is not going to be good. Anyway,
that's the Bruce Campbell cameo. He wakes up and it's just all a
that's
dream
all
in
Bruce,
his head.
it's all been in Ash's head this entire time, man. That,
so what did you think of the trailer?
It looks good. I was very surprised. I'm a huge Evil Dead fan, and obviously, in being in the Evil Dead camp, it's tough to swallow coming back to reboot time. It's looking pretty intense. It's better than expected. I'm 50-50 on the cards right now, but at least the shock value has got me interested. It's just I would love my Evil Dead 4. We know, folks. All of us as Evil Dead folks want our Evil Dead 4, but this doesn't speak well.
This is the closest that you're gonna get, I think, to an Evil Dead 4. And I mean, I love the trailer. It really took me by surprise because I was not expecting anything out of this movie. It really feels like they're going for their own vibe with it, but there's so many throwbacks to Evil Dead in that trailer that it really feels like it's gonna be an Evil Dead movie. So it looks really promising. So I'm really excited to see what the final product looks like.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, hey, look, man, I'm not putting my opinion on the table until I get my first look at this thing.
Definitely.
You never know, and well, maybe Bruce makes a pops in. Come on, Bruce, just pop into the film just a little bit, buddy.
That's
say
a hint,
hi,
Bruce
say
Campbell.
hi, man. Just to make me feel a little happier. At least he's producing it.
Awesome. So that's our coverage of the Evil Dead trailer. Be sure to sound off in the comments below. Let us know what you think about the trailer, if there's any other cool things that we missed. And make sure you keep it locked to IGN.com for all your Evil Dead coverage.